Do you remember Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives on Food Network, ran by Guy Fieri? Well, there's now a TikTok influencer that also goes around the country and explores hole-in-the-wall restaurants and lets the public know what he really thinks about the food there. And his name is Keith Lee. Keith Lee has grossed over 1 million followers, and he really is someone that really deserves his platform. We have totally made the right person famous because Keith Lee really wants to help support small businesses, and a lot of these businesses, after Keith Lee has came to them, there has been lines out the door with restaurants that were about to close. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit more about Keith Lee and his background and who he is and what he plans to do in the future. So Keith Lee, before he was a food reviewer, he was an MMA fighter. And according to IDS News, Keith Lee's journey from a mixed martial arts fighter to renowned food critic is nothing short of remarkable, which is absolutely true. Keith Lee is someone that is a man of honor, and he always tells the truth. No matter if he likes the food or not, he will let you know if he likes it. And a lot of these restaurants he does really like, but there has been a couple of run-ins where he hasn't really liked them, which brings me into my next point, and that is the city of Atlanta. So Keith Lee was in Atlanta a couple of months ago, and he ranked Atlanta at the worst city that he's been on his food tour across America, and this is because they have a culture of not giving the best customer service to their customers. So what Keith Lee does is he'll go in as a fake name or like a disguise, or he'll send like a member of his family in, so it's kind of inconspicuous. And he went to this restaurant, and these people were rude, they were unorganized, and Keith Lee was like, no, I'm not, we're not going to get food from you anymore. And these people obviously recognized him, chased him out to the parking lot, and they were like, no, come back in. And Keith Lee's like, no, it's too late. So this is why a lot of people like Keith Lee, because he's real. He understands that he's a human, just like you and me, and he will always tell you the truth. Keith Lee was recently in Houston, and I'm from Houston, so I recognize a lot of the places that he went to. If you know, the Breakfast Club in Houston is already pretty famous, but Keith Lee really wanted to go here. A Good Morning America host actually recommends this place, and it was on KPTX News. And so he went, and the only kink at this restaurant he had was the phone lines were just a little busy, but he ended up going, and the line is usually out the door. I've passed by it multiple times, and it's usually out the door, but I recently passed by it last week, and that line is down the street. It was like a night and day difference. It was already packed, but now it's crazy there. So, according to theeater.com, he went to the Puddery, which is in Houston, and it's a pudding kind of restaurant. And I have never seen a video where he's been so enthusiastic about the food that he was being served. So according to theeater.com, the Puddery was interviewed, and the owner said it was word of mouth, and she was trying to run ads to get people to come through the doors. Because before, she was not being able to make any business, and only, a couple of people would come into her restaurant. But after Keith Lee came to this restaurant, the lines were insane. And the lines were down the street. So this person that's on TikTok was able to make a real change in this person's small business. To conclude, Keith Lee has really made a mark on social media and what it's like to be an influencer that does good. And Keith Lee is really helping small businesses across the country, and he has plans to go to the Bay Area, and he's going to see what San Francisco has to offer and how many lives that he can impact in San Francisco.